The moment that you think that you know is the moment that you failed. So the moment you think you have the final answer, that you have the final wherewithal, is the moment where you can get sabotaged. So I'm always going back to my values. I'm always revisiting my ideological tendencies. I'm always conscientiously aware of my biases and understanding that those biases may not be true and that those biases may not be the best way to live. So a bias that I used to think when I didn't have money was, oh, people that have money are lucky. But that was basically a coping mechanism for me to live with my inadequacy as an entrepreneur, or as a failing entrepreneur, or as somebody that used to clean toilets or that used to pressure wash basketball courts. That was my coping mechanism. So as I was there bitter, pressure washing the basketball courts, and I saw rich people, successful people, I was like, no, they just got lucky. But did they just get lucky? No, I just had to ask the question of, why is it that these people are successful and I'm not? And once I became a student of life, I implemented humility and I understood how to learn and how to think. I began to develop a complete mind. And in the process of developing a complete mind, you develop a complete life.
For you to assume that I would be right about everything is a delusion. I could be right about nothing at all. So don't take what I'm saying as the gospel. Take it and dissect it, utilize it. If it's of value, extract it. If it's not of value, leave it away. Be a student of life.
Every single day, you have a chance to determine whether that day will become a success or a failure. You're only as good as your last shot. You're only as good as your last win. A lot of people that live in past victories or past failures end up losing in life because they're reminiscing on the past. The past will not determine the future. You need to understand that every single day when you wake up, you have the ability to reset the clock, right? And you have the ability to reset the direction of your life. So if you were doing something yesterday that wasn't pushing you towards success, that doesn't define you. You can change, you can adapt, you can re-engineer your future by changing your habits. There's 3 things that I determined that are extremely important if you want to reshape your future. Number 1 is your work ethic. When you get back from work, right? I know we're tired, but do you clock in towards building your dream, towards building the avatar character that you have? Or are you just gonna doom scroll on TikTok and watch Netflix? Your work ethic is extremely important. It costs nothing to have a strong work ethic. Now, you don't just wanna have a strong work ethic when you clock in. You wanna have a strong work ethic towards your dreams. Number 2 is a good attitude. Nobody will ever do business with somebody that has a shitty attitude. Nobody wants to be around those people, especially long term. You may get away with it for a little bit. But if you're a hater, if you're a loser, if you present yourself with negativity, people won't want to be around you. And it's free to have a good attitude. Number 1 is your work ethic. Number 2 is your attitude. And number 3 is your understanding that you need to be a student. What do I mean by this? I see so many brokies online, the haters online. They think they know everything. But you examine their bank account, you examine their network, you examine their connections, and you examined the plans that they have for the future. And they don't have a student's mind. They don't care to learn new things. But you need to understand that you don't know anything in order to progress. And all of these 3 things are absolutely free. A good attitude, a strong work ethic, and having a student's mind is what will push you towards success. It's what will propel you towards getting to the next level. And it costs no money. If you want to develop a stronger network, if you want to learn new skills, you need to be teachable, you need to have a good attitude, and you need to work your ass off every single day. I come from very little, but I used what I had at the time to my advantage. And I said, well, just because I was born into a family that didn't have a lot of money, doesn't mean I can't have a lot of money. Just because I don't know things today regarding a certain topic, the markets, building online businesses, managing teams, doesn't mean I can't learn these things. I can, and I will. And finally, when I present myself with my team, with my investors, with my partners, how do I present myself? With a good attitude, or I'm always hating on them, shitting on them, am I degrading them, or am I degrading myself? Good attitude, good work ethic, and have a student's mind. All these things are free. Exercise them, apply them, develop them, and you'll be one step closer to becoming successful. Very simple.
Most people, they don't live in an environment that is healthy for their mind, that is healthy with their relationships. So when they tap into our content, it's a breath of fresh air. They're like, oh, this is dope. And then you have the opposite side, the guy that's still resistant, that listens to the message or listens to what I'm saying, is like, nah, this can't be true. This can't. Well, I get it, bro. I know you're in pain. Like, I know life is fucked up. I know you don't see it yet. I was there, but with enough time and dedication, like, you can chip that garbage away and renew your mind. So it all starts and finishes in the mind. Most people, it's not about doing something. It's about setting up a destination in the first place, right? And most people don't even know where they're going. So establishing some clarity in basics, things like, hey, get your money right, get your mind right, get your relationships right. The basic shit, the accountability that nobody likes, that hurts. That's the healthy stuff. Because you deal with the little angst of, you know, what he's saying is true, or what he's saying offends me. Okay, but if you act upon that offense and you're like, maybe he has a point.
That the mind focused on future events is miserable. I see so many people focusing on the things that they cannot control. They want to make $1 million, but obviously you can't dictate the specific day that you're going to become a millionaire. They want to develop a better physique, but you can't specifically dictate the day where you'll be proud of the body that you have if you're overweight or if you're too skinny. You need to understand that you can't be focused on the future. What you need to be focused is on the present moment. What you can control today, the habits that you input today, the amount of work ethic and good attitude that you portray today. These are the things that matter. The Stoics used to speak about these things because it is so easy to either reminisce in the past or to be conjuring imaginary scenarios of the future, oftentimes negative, that lead a present moment of stress and a state of being miserable. So if you want to be in a life that is full of equanimity means the calmness of the soul, and a life that is full of peace, you need to be here now, focusing on what you can control. If you want to make more money, perfect, clock in. If you want to become more financially literate, you're gonna have to pick up the books and get educated. If you want a better physique, you're gonna have to eat healthier food and you're gonna have to exercise. Not focused on the future, but focused on what you can do today. And by natural law, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. The universe will give you exactly what you deserve. Don't live a life of misery by living in the past or living in the future, but live a life of peace and equanimity by being here, right now. Seneca famously said, "We do not learn in school, but in life." Life and our ability to interpret the things that happen to us give us the ability to focus and understand the things that we need to correct and improve on. If you want to live a life of success, if you want to develop into a complete person, you must learn from life, the experiences, the people, the places that you go to, and understand that the culmination of your experiences is what gives you the knowledge to make better decisions for your future. Don't depend on some teacher out there that hasn't accomplished anything in life to tell you how to live, to impart upon you their limitations as to what reality has to give. If I'd listened to my teachers, well, I'd still be back in Argentina, probably working some 9-to-5 job, making a couple $100s a month, having to deal with socialism and inflation. But I decided to learn from my experiences. I decided to put myself in situations that were uncomfortable so that I could grow and become better. And by doing so, and by developing a complete mind, I became better. And the better you become, the better life gets. Every day is a chance to win or to lose. What you did yesterday in your business, what you did yesterday at the gym, what you did yesterday to level up in your knowledge or in your network, doesn't really matter. Every single day you need to show up because you're only as good as your last shot. You're only as good as your last win. You're only as bad as your last loss. But every day the clock resets to reshape your future. The clock resets for you to reset the direction of your life. And I see a lot of people reminiscing on one side on their past wins. So they live in ancient glory that nobody really gives a fuck about. Or they live in their past failures, which keeps them down because they assume that their past failures dictate their current situation. But like a science experiment, you're gonna fail multiple times. It's just part of the equation. And when you understand that failing is simply part of the equation, you no longer hold on to, oh, well, am I gonna fail today? Am I gonna mess up today? No, you're gonna continue leveling up. You're gonna continue being in a situation where you show up every single day and give it your all. Every day is a new shot for you to change your life. Every day is a new shot for you to reinvent yourself. If you understand the power that when the sun comes up, it's a new opportunity for you to live your life, a new life purpose, a new life of achievements, and a new life of success. You wake up with intention. Stop waking up like an accident. Start waking up with purpose, and understand that nobody is coming to save you. Nobody in the world gives a about your problems, and you, my friend, have to handle it yourself. Wake up, walk with purpose, elevate and control what you can control today, and I promise you that you will be one step closer to living the life of your mother dreams. While we wait for life, life passes. When you understand that your days are counted, that your days are limited, you begin to work with urgency towards your goals. You begin to work with urgency towards the things that you want in life. People say, well, I'll start tomorrow, or I'll get started when the new year hits. It doesn't work that way. Life passes you by with no urgency, but day by day. And so many people live and wake up like accidents that they forget this beautiful principle that life is in your control. And if you want to experience a certain type of outcome and a certain type of future, you must input the necessary labor today. Don't let life pass you by. If you can dream it, if you can believe it, you can achieve it. It can potentially become yours with the right energy input, the amount of work ethic necessary, and a good attitude. Understand that you have one life. How you live it is your choice, but life will pass you by. You don't want to be the person that wakes up 30, 40, 50 years from now and regrets what they did. Regrets who they hung out with. Regrets the decisions that they took. The inability to exercise at an early age, the inability to develop a massive quality network or to start that business that you always desired. Don't let life pass you by, because if you do not take life by the horns, life will just continue flowing. You'll either be a byproduct of chance, or you will take life and own it, because you're only as good as the decisions that you make.